All right, y'all. So I'm back with another video, and I'm going to go into my actual surgical date story. Right. So the day I went in to get my BBL, it was on the 6th of June. And I hope y'all don't mind. I'm going to be doing my hair while I'm telling the story because I don't know. I might as well multitask. But yeah. So I go in. My surgery from my email and everything was already scheduled for 8 o'clock in the morning. So, and it also says that you got to be there an hour before your procedure, which is, I'm glad I came. So I was there at 7 in the morning, right? And I go up there, and it was like weird because I didn't really see nothing really going on up there, over there, whatever. And I was like, dang, is anybody here? So then I get to the door, and I see there's like a note on the door that you got to knock or whatever. So I knocked on one door, didn't get no answer. Knocked on another door, got an answer. Then I got in there and I was talking to the nurses, and there was like paperwork and stuff sitting out, people that was getting ready to have their procedure and whatnot. And I was letting them know who I was and everything like that. And that's when I found out that girl basically didn't even mark me down as even going to my pre-op appointment. So he was like, dang, you didn't go to your pre-op appointment? I was like, nah, man, I physically was there. I don't know what y'all talking about. So anyway, after that, they was like, well, you don't have your pre-op medications. And I was like, oh, yeah, I ain't know nothing about that because I figured I would, get that whenever, whatever, right? So anyway, they was like, if you don't have your pre-op medications, what we can do is we can reschedule. And I was like, nah, I don't want to reschedule because I done already took off work and everything for this and booked a hotel room for a week to even stay down here, which I probably, you know what I'm saying, I could have canceled it. I could have done some things differently, you know what I'm saying, to still make that work out in my favor. But I didn't. I was just like, nah, I'm gonna go ahead and get it done because I'm already here. And I was already super excited and nervous and everything. Like, I just wanted to get the thing out the way. You feel me? I already took off work and everything for it. So, there was that. So, they told me that my surgery was scheduled for 10 o'clock instead of 8 o'clock. And that was something else I had no idea about or whatever. So they was like, well, just leave and just come back later. And so they was like, go get you something to eat, which I thought was strange because most of the time before you have surgery, they tell you not to eat nothing. But since they not putting you to sleep, then it didn't really matter, I guess. So I left, and well, we left. I was there with my mom and my daughter. She wanted to ride down with us. And we went to Waffle House. It was crazy because where we went to Waffle House it was like two Waffle Houses basically right next to each other, and it was crazy. So I was like, why would they basically put one side by side? I said, what is this, like a white one and a black one? And sure enough, when we got to the Waffle House, there was one where it was white people working in it, and the other one where it was black people working in it. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. And it was like a McDonald's right across the street. I've never seen that like that before anyway. So anyway, we get in, of course, we gonna go to the black one. And we sit down, you know what I'm saying, we eat, whatever, whoopie whoop. Then we left and went to Kroger's because I was like, well, this on the paperwork it said to wear some warm socks. And I said, I only brought a pair of little fleece socks, so I was going to see if I could buy another pair of socks or whatever, right? Because see, before I even left, I was asking them if they could just go ahead and order my pre-op meds for every pharmacy. And realistically, like the Kroger's wasn't nowhere but pretty much down the street from the office. And so I was just like, maybe they'll just go ahead and send it to that one because it's the closest one to me, But come to find out, they never even sent this stuff off. But whatever the case is. Went to Kroger's, bought me some footy socks and bought me some pineapples and, sat in the parking lot for a minute. Because they told me, okay, let me go back a little bit. And when they told me I didn't have my pre-op meds, I was supposed to have 2 Xanaxes and my antibiotics, and then they were going to give me a Tylenol 3, Benadryl, etc., right, to perform my surgery, right? Well, so basically I wasn't going to end up getting Xanaxes. Well, I knew I was going to go through some type of traumatic experience with having this surgery. I knew a little bit about that, so I just so happened to have one Xanax of my own. So I was like, that's why I was like, okay, I'm gonna just go ahead and go through with the procedure. I'm gonna just take that one. I'm a tough girl, I can handle it, right? Anyway, so before I go in there, the procedure, my mama asked me, she was like, you want to take like a hydrocodone before you go in there? And I was like, nah, because I don't want to be too high or too drugged up before I get in there, because they going to at least give me something, and I don't want to be too bad. I wish I had went on and took that daggone hydrocodone, okay? I think it was a 5, but whatever. So anyway, when we pulled back up at 9 o'clock, because I said the procedure was at 10 o'clock, I had went on and took that Xanax, the whole thing, sitting in the parking lot before I walked in the building, right? So it took another, I want to say 30 minutes to an hour before I actually even got started. So I was, whatever. So anyway, they had me kind of just sitting in there, and really before I even walked up into the building, I seen this girl come out that I had seen when I first had pulled up at the place. And she was just sitting there, she was crying like somebody was walking her to the car and everything. And I was like, dang girl, you okay? Because it made me nervous, because I was like, okay, I know this gonna hurt, it's gonna be uncomfortable and whatnot, but you know what I'm saying, I don't want to be out here crying, because it take a lot for me to cry. I'm not a crying person. It take a lot of energy and everything out of me to cry. If you ever catch me crying, it's gotta be real bad, like real bad. So I was like, damn, that's scary. But I was like, nah, you pay for it, you tough, you real, you got this, you gonna go ahead and handle your business. So I go in there, and they tell me to go in and get ready to go. I had to go talk to, get my clothes off and everything, and put this little paper outfit on, and then I had to like have before pics of what my body looked like, and talk about who I was and what I was getting done, so they could have reported that I knew what was going on before I went in there, and had to sign paperwork about the procedure and talking about what I was having done, where it was having done, whatever. So, okay, I already had some of the paperwork and stuff about this beforehand, but it had been so long since I actually looked at that portion. So in there, it was talking about the areas that they were going to take the fat from. And one of those areas in particular was the mons pubis area. So that like basically a coochie roll or whatever, the little coochie fat or whatever that's like in the front. So I was like, look, I don't even really have no fat tootie like that. I don't want nobody touching it. And she was like, well, that's what you paid for to get it taken out. I was like, look, well, y'all, you just have a conversation with the doctor and let her know that we're not going to do that, okay? We could just take it from somewhere else. So anyway, I was supposed to talk to her about it, but I had got on my drugs first. And see, I don't feel like that's fair, because like they give you them drugs first, and I already had that Xanax, and then they gave me the Tylenol 3 and the Benadryl, and I think it was more than just one Tylenol 3. I think it was way more than one Benadryl, because it was a couple of pills in my hand, but like I said, at the time, I didn't care. I wasn't worried about nothing. I was just focused on trying to get my procedure done, right? So I wanted to talk to her about that, because I wanted to have like my upper arm area done too, but I don't know, I almost thought about like keeping that for like a fat transfer if I want to get my boobs done, because I'm just that type of nigga like that. So anyway, I told her about that, but that ain't what happened, because what I came to when I realized what was really going on, I was ready to get up off the table, because I knew somebody had took some fat from my mom's pubis area, and I was just like, man, this ain't, whatever. So anyway, I was halfway passed out through the surgery. I was alert enough to where I could hear people, but I didn't really know what was going on. And I think I kind of made myself go to sleep a little bit, just so I wouldn't be freaking out. I wanted to be calm. I wanted to be cool, but I didn't want to be like sleep. So I was like, let me just try to like close my eyes. I really want to sleep. Let me just say I just sat there with my eyes closed, because I want to be able to hear what's going on, and I want to be alert enough to like know, like, because what I'm saying, I was scared that I was gonna die. Because a lot of people have died from having that surgery done, and it's scary. So when the meds starts wearing off and everything, she was about done when the meds started wearing off, and I could feel that there was definitely fat transferred into my butt. Yeah, I could definitely feel the difference, right? And I started feeling her suctioning, right? The fat or whatever it was she was doing, because I can tell you, I don't really know. I was high, y'all. So once I kind of jumped, because I felt something, and she was like, well, you're going to have to be still or I'm going to have to stop. So my crazy high ass, I ended up jumping again. So she was like, okay, I'm done with the procedure. So in the back of my head, I was like, damn, why did I do this shit? You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I was like, look, I think this is a good stopping point for her. You know what I'm saying? I'm alive. I know what's going on. I'm alert and oriented. Let me just go ahead and let her finish. Stop what she's doing right now, because I feel like it's fat there. I don't know where else she gonna go with it, because I feel like she done covered all the areas that she was gonna go with taking the fat, and my butt is definitely bigger, and I didn't want to end up having like my butt don't match my legs type shit. You know what I'm saying? I want my body to look very natural. So so when she got to the point where I was jumping and she was done fooling with me like that, I was okay with it. Yeah, in the back of my mind, I still think about that to this day though. in the back of my mind, like, dang, well, when she wasn't finished, and where else was she gonna do? Because I'm not a fat person. Like, okay, I just got on, like, my faja, I'm letting it dry. I hand washed it earlier, and I'm just letting it dry on the towel behind me. So I got some Spanx on just to, until that dries, and I'm ready to throw that thing back on. But, just looking around, you can't see nothing. All right. Now, this is what I look like, and I'm 3 weeks post-op. Let me pull this down. And this is me not wearing my compression garment all day. The Spanx help, but it's not the same thing as that. But you see how I look like in the front and on the side. And I'm not really a big person anyway. Let me step back so it really hit home, which I'm trying to say to y'all. I'm not a fat person. So I don't really know how much else she was going to take. Like, I can't really see, but I can't pinch up no more fat. You feel me? So when she said she was, you're going to have to let me finish, I'm sitting here like, to me, you already done. Like, ain't nowhere else to go. Like, I'm serious. Like, even when they talk about, like, you got a stage 1 faja and a stage 2 faja, like, I'm literally like, how I'm gonna get any smaller than what I am? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a big person to begin with. Like, not everybody's shaped the same, but like, you trying to get me to go smaller, like, I got a liver, I got intestines, all that. Like, where is all that gonna be if I'm smaller? But anyway, I digress. So anyway, Caesar got done. I don't know how I was still high, y'all. I was like disoriented as I'll get up, okay? I don't know how I got home. I don't know how I got to the hotel. Apparently they had my mom and my daughter had went out to eat and all that. I had no idea, okay? I was through. I don't know how I got to the bed. All I know is when I was waking up, because somebody woke me up, they was tapping my shoulder and they was like, hey, you gotta get up. The hotel on fire. And I'm like, should I even get up? I was just like, I was so through with life. I was like, surely if ain't no fire in here, then they gonna put it out before it get to me. Like, cause I was just like, they were like, for real? I was like, man, y'all gotta stop playing with me like that. You know what I'm saying? Cause in my mind, I was like, nah, y'all playing. Ain't no hotel on fire. And even if it is, why I gotta get up? Like, that's how I was. I was through. Okay. It was nothing. Okay. So anyway, I was through from the surgery. All right. So before I had left to go to have my procedure in the hotel at night, I had already laid down everything the way it needed to be with my supplies. I had laid down some chest pads to absorb whatever blood, and I laid down. A lot of people that use like a shower curtain, a plastic shower curtain. I didn't have one, but I used like a plastic tablecloth instead, which does the same thing. I got one of them from the Dollar Tree. So anyway, that's what I laid on. I already had that laid out and everything. So, because I knew I was going to be a bloody mess by the time I got there. And y'all, I really was. Like, they wrap you up in that little white waistband thing, waist training thing that really, you only supposed to use that just for right after the surgery. Like, it's not no good for nothing else after that, in my opinion. But they had me wrapped up in that. And they had one of those like chest pads, the disposable pads or whatever, wrapped around me. And I'm telling y'all, when I actually finally got up, because I had woke up in the middle of the night because I had to pee, and that thing was soaked. I mean, like dripping, soaked with blood, like, and fluid. And it was like when I got up and stood up to even go to the bathroom, it was like dripping all the way till I got to the bathroom door and everything. Like, the thing was covered. Okay. I definitely bled and drained out everything I could that night. And I think that had something to do with the fact that before I had my procedure, I was drinking a lot of pineapple juice and eating a lot of fresh raw pineapple. So, like, I drained out everything I had to drain out that day. Like, because like the next day you're supposed to go in to have your lymphatic massage, and they're supposed to like help like express out extra fluid. No extra fluid came out of me. I was, all of mine came out that night, and it was just nasty. And they say you're not supposed to change your dressings and stuff like that for that until you actually go to your wet collar. But y'all, I was so like covered in blood and nasty, like I couldn't help it. I went on and took me a shower and everything because it was just no way. So I was like, man, I'm smart enough and know how to take care of people well enough to where I could just do this myself. So that's what I did. I pretty much changed everything, put me another disposable pad, and wrapped myself back up and lay down because I didn't want to wake my mom up and I didn't want to wake my daughter up. But I mean, we talk about that post-op body. And if, like I said, if I can work it out, like I'll put some pictures up so y'all can see what my post-op body was. And then if I can put it on there, I'm going to show you what I looked like the day before I had my surgery as well. The pictures aren't the best in the world. I like photography, but not particularly good at it. But yeah. Yeah, my butt, y'all, I'm talking about, this shit was just huge. Like my thighs and all that was just like, it stuck out like it was huge. Like when I first measured post-operatively, my hip ratio was 43 and my waist ratio, I don't know exactly what that was exactly, but I think it was like 33, 34. But whatever the case is, I had like some extreme definition and a big difference on what I normally was, because I normally measured around 38. So from 38 to 43, post-op was like a major thing. But just like how they say, and everybody says this, do not fall in love with your post-op body. That's real. Because what you look like coming off that table is not the same results of what you're going to look like after all that draining and swelling and all that stuff goes down. You're not going to look like that. That's not going to be you, okay? But, yeah. I've been talking too much. Hold on a second. Let me start this brain real quick. All right, so anyway, yeah. So, let's see. All right, so by the time I really like came to and just was like, okay, fine, I'm gonna get up and try to save myself from a burning fire, because it's just like, ugh. Like that's when it like hit me, man. I was just like, man, if it really is a fire off in here, I done spent way too much money on this body to be burning it up now. So let me get my ass up. So I got up, I went to try to leave and everything. And by the time I got halfway out the door, the fireman was like, this fine chocolate specimen of a fireman, okay? Told me, they was like, ma'am, no need to evacuate the building. We got the fire out. I was like, thank you, God. Laid my big butt down. So that was my first night post-op. Yeah, so then after that, I went to my first post-op massage. And then I got my scripts ordered for my I got my prescriptions ordered for my post-op care, which would be like my antibiotics. So they prescribed me doxycycline for your post-op. Make sure you don't get any infections, right? So I start taking that, and really my first day post-op, I really didn't do much. All I did was sleep and eat and take pain pills and sleep some more. They gave me Tylenol 3 for my pain medicine. They only gave 12. I don't feel like that's enough, but I guess they have their limits on what they can give you, because so many people abuse pain pills these days that everybody funny about even giving them to the people that really need them. So anyway, so that's what happened. I got those, and that's pretty much what it was. So then the next day I go back and I got asked to be a brand ambassador. And yeah, hold on, before I even did that, let me tell y'all something about my second day. I was supposed to have 2 massages scheduled for my post-op that day, right? Lymphatic massages, 2 of them on the same day. And I had took the doxycycline. Now, let me tell you about doxycycline. It is an antibiotic, yeah, that's true enough. And they say to take it with food. However, they don't write on the label anymore that particular antibiotic doesn't do well with dairy products. Okay, you won't see on the label. I think it used to write it on there at one point in time, but if you take that antibiotic, do not have any dairy. Don't have no milk, no yogurt, no cheese. Don't do it, because it will make you sick. So I did that, and I ate some yogurt, not thinking about that, because it didn't say it on the label no more. I thought they cleared up that little side effect, but no, honey. I threw up all over the place, and I was through. So I didn't make it to that first one, and I just kind of laid down and didn't do much. So let's see. Then I finally did go to the West Collar. I was tired. I was looking rough. They asked me to be a brand ambassador. I was like, yeah, but I don't really want to take pictures and all that today, because I already had a really rough morning. But anyway, I did it anyway, because they was just scared to ask me. So, I mean, I wasn't looking rough, but I just was not I didn't have no makeup on. I didn't have no lashes. I just had on a little dress that was kind of like something that just to throw on because, the outfit I had on earlier was cuter than what I had on and everything like that. So, but, I took a few pictures, had a few commentary, whatever, and I was just like, we'll do this another time when I'm a little bit better off, right? So anyway, that was that day. Then, I had got to my massage therapist. I talked to her a minute, and she was pretty cool. Like, all of them were really cool. Like, the massage therapist was probably like one of like the nicest staff that I actually met the whole time I even worked with everybody. So really shout out to them because they was all very awesome. I wasn't really a fan of the nurses that was actually there at the surgical center for Goals. They just seemed like I don't know. They seemed like they was being paid way too much, and they hated their job, and they hated. They just seemed like they hated their job, and everybody that came in was just some old nagging old girl that was just wanting to get their butt done and get on their nerves. Like, that's how they treated you, to me. But I mean, some of them was cool, but you could just tell they just wasn't the I think what I'm really trying to say is the professionalism just wasn't there compared to other areas of the clinic. You feel me? That I noticed, which made me kind of feel some type of way because I was just like, dang, man, if I could do what y'all doing, I wouldn't be no B. But, I guess when, like I said, you're making too much money, you get stuck up, you get whatever, house city and whatnot, need to switch up. So that's kind of stuff they was on. So, but whatever. I'm still glad, like I said, that I went and got everything done. I ain't tripping about all that. But anyway, the massage therapist that I was with, there was actually somebody that was famous, whatever. I think they was on a show on VH1. So they asked her to like show up and do her post-op massages in home. She was like, cool, so I'm not exactly sure who it was, but if you are watching VH1 and you see an episode of somebody getting a massage done in the background, then that was my masseuse that day, my lymphatic massage therapist for the day. Well, one of them anyway, because I didn't always go to the same one every time, but they were all nice. I liked them all, and I was so happy to see them because them lymphatic massages are super, 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 super important. And I don't know how anybody make it, because I've seen a lot of people's videos where they talk about they only went to 2 post-op lymphatic massages, and I don't know. I pray for y'all because I don't know how y'all was doing that, because the massages is the only thing that really help you. Like, taking a pain meal, sure, that helps. Taking Benadryl, sure, that helps. But the lymphatic massages is the only thing that helped me keep my sanity post-op, because your body hurts, okay? And it helps drain the lymph out your body. Now, here's the thing about lymphatic drainage. Lymph drains out in certain ports in your body, and when you have liposuction in your abdomen area, it's gonna drain that fluid out into your groin area. Now, why I say this, because the most uncomfortable thing about that is when you're draining that lymph and it's going out to your groin and it's secreting it out your urine and you're defecating it out and whatever, you can still have that lymph buildup in your groin. So what I'm saying is your tootie cat is gonna blow up. Your monkey gonna be bigger, and my monkey was huge, huge. I was embarrassed. I woke up and I was like, felt like one side getting bigger or something, and then I looked down and seen, I was like, oh hell no. You know what I'm saying? Like, can I talk to somebody about this? Like, I see it's big right now, but is this gonna go down? Because this look like ain't nobody but somebody just nasty freak is gonna speak with me. Like, don't give me no big asses and just delete my sex life, like, for real. But yeah, like, man, my shit was like on dinosaur, y'all. I was like, but after a while it does go down, but it does take about a week or 2 for it to go down. I was embarrassed. I was just like, man, I don't want nobody to see my stuff, but because it just no. But yeah. Anyway, that's what my first little bit was like. First few days was like post-op. I had fun though still, being in Atlanta, as long as I was high and on my little drugs, whatever. I stayed off of Buford Highway, which in a micro hotel off of Buford Highway, and it was pretty cool and everything. Outside of that, they did knock some money off of the charges for my stay because of the whole fire incident, because when it happened, the fire alarm didn't initially go off. Like, the smoke detectors didn't go off. The fire alarm did, because somebody pulled it, but there was the smoke detectors didn't pick up on that, so it, whatever. So the hotel got fined and everything like that, and they was doing extra inspections and stuff to make sure the smoke detectors was working and everything like that. Let's see, what else happened? Buford Highway, didn't nobody tell me that was like Little Mexico or Colombia or something. Because every store down there, there's like all kinds of like little Hispanic or Latino stores that were everywhere. And I loved it, honestly. I ain't saying it like it's a bad thing, because like the supermarket there was just bomb. And one of my favorite restaurants that I went to down there, I don't forgot the name of it. It was Pollo something. But it was basically like a KFC that was like Latino. You know what I'm saying? And I loved it. I ate there as much as I could, and as often as they would take me over there. My mom would take me over there. I would eat because their chicken was good. And I had yuca fries for the first time. I never had yuca fries in my life. And yeah, I was eating good. They say you ain't supposed to eat fast food, but I mean, you're staying in a hotel, so what can you really eat? you know. And yeah, and you can pay for all that. So what you gonna? You ain't gonna eat exactly healthy, but you ain't gonna eat too bad. But they want you to eat healthy because you can still gain weight where you had your area of liposuction. Now the fat that's transferred and moved over there, that's gone. That's gonna be there, right? But you can still make new fat cells and get bigger and end up not getting your full results because of stuff like that. So I did like a mixture of both. Like I ate hamburgers, but I also ate salads. Stuff like that. I switched up a little bit. And I ate I still continue with my pineapples and water, lots of water, lots of pineapple juice. I think that is really important to have that going post-operatively, because on the days that I didn't drink a lot of water, and I drank a lot of lemon water because the hotel itself, they had like a big pitcher of lemon water, like water with ice water with like little lemon and lime slices all in it, all cute shit. And every time I would walk by there, I would make sure I got me a big old cup. And yeah, so lemon water and pineapple juice and pineapples. I ate a lot of that. They helped a lot with the post-op pain, the inflammation. I feel like that's part of the reason why I didn't drain as much as what a lot of people do. Because like really, I'm telling you, after the first day, that was it. I didn't drain no more. And but yeah, I could tell a difference in my body on the days that I didn't drink a lot of water, or I didn't drink a lot of water and pineapple juice or ate pineapples. Like I felt worse on the days that I didn't. And so yeah, so definitely do that. I even now that I'm home and everything that's been the past 2 weeks, I still drink lemon water. I don't really I can't drive, so I'm home pretty much by myself. I'm only going to the store when anybody can take me to the store. But whenever I can go, I try to get certain things that's going to help me recover faster, because I got to get moving with the rest of my life. I can't just sit at home and wait to get better. But yeah, that's the beginning of my experience that I had, that I can tell y'all about that. It was nice to be able to go and spend that time with my mom and my daughter, and we have like a girls trip bonding time, in between of me being sleep or whatever. I had a good time with both of them, and yeah, they really help make the experience a lot better for me. I would definitely tell somebody, do not go try to do this by yourself. You need at least to have one dependable person that you can call on, that if you need something, because you really gonna be sore, you really gonna be hurt, you really gonna be high, you really gonna be, what I'm saying, you're really not gonna be like your full self that first 2 weeks really. I would say I'm just now hitting week 3, and I'm just now starting to feel normal. But I do have like the little hard places. This is the time to, like, your end of the third week. End of the second week, beginning of the third week, you'll start noticing like the lumps and bumps, because you got scar tissue that's going to build up. And there is a way to treat that. Most people will say there's different kinds of ways you can treat that. Not everybody agrees with it, but yeah, so that's my surgery story. I'll try to come back with another story or other tips and things like that on what to do and how to manage things, and maybe a summarized video on how to manage and what to do pre-op, what to do post-op, and things like that. But if you hung in here and watched this as long as you have, thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next one. And just like always, stay just beautiful.